Let's discuss if else, right? If a condition is true, do something, right? Else, do something else, right? If it rains, take an umbrella. Else, go normal, right? First, create a variable named age, int age, and store the value 25, right? Okay. Then, create if else block, right? Syntax is this. Okay, this is the if else block, right? This is the if else block. Okay, inside the parentheses, give the condition that age is greater than or equal to 18, right? Okay, this is the message served and eligible to marry, right? It must print this message only if the condition is true, right? Is 25 equal or greater than 80? Not equal, but 25 is greater than 80. Therefore, when we run this code, it should give this message, right? Let's see. See? Okay. What about the condition is false? Is 12 greater than or equal 80? No, it is less than, right? Therefore, it should give this statement, right? See? Okay. Simply remember, if the condition is true, execute the if block, right? If condition is true, execute this, right? Otherwise, execute this block. Okay. The next topic is multiple conditions, right? It uses when we have more than two choices. Okay. In this case, we use else if two. We can add else if among them. Okay. Right. Like this. Okay. Right. I changed the variable name to marks. If marks is greater than or equal to 75, it should print this, right? What about this statement? It says if marks are greater than or equal to 60, it should give this, right? Let's get this. No, let's get it as 65, right? Now you can see grade as a B. Okay, the next one is the switch. Okay, why switch exists? When you compare one variable against many fixed values, switch is cleaner, easier to read, faster to write. This is such a mess, right? A switch is used for multiple choices, right? It is used when we have many fixed options. It's better than many if else, right? This the syntax for the switch, right? Okay. This is the start of the entire block, right? We must pass the variable into the parentheses, right? The variable inside the parentheses is the value that will be tested against all the different cases, right? This variable must usually evaluate to a simple data type like an integer, character, or sometimes a string, right? Okay. You can see the curly braces, right? The curly braces define the scope of the switch block, right? Okay. This is a case label, right? Okay. The program checks, does the variable's value equal this value, right? Okay. If the value is match, the code that immediately follows the column. See? This is executed, right? Okay. This is the block of statements that runs when the associated case matches the variable's value, right? We can add break. Okay, right. This keyword is critical when a case is successfully executed, right? The break statement immediately terminates the entire switch block, right? The program exits the switch and continues with the code that follows it. Okay. Without break, the program would execute the code for the matching case and then fall through and execute the code for the next case level, right? Regardless of whether it matches the variable's value, right? This is an optional, right? Default, right? And so nothing. Okay. This is an optional label that acts as a catch-all, right? If the variable's value does not match any of the preceding case values, example case 1, case 2, the program executes the code following the default label, right? Whole thing serves the same purpose as the final else in an if-else structure. The next one is loop, right? It repeats a block of code a fixed number of times, right? Example, I want to print numbers from 1 to 5, right? This is the initialization part, right? I started from 1. Started from 1. For the reason that I wanna print 1 to 5 numbers, right? Simply remember, this represents the start point, right? This, okay. It runs once, okay? Loops counter starts at 1, right? Okay. This is the condition part. It is checked before every loop. If false, loops stop, right? At this time, I is equal to 1. You can see I is equal to 1. And it is less than 5, right? 1 is less than 5. Therefore, the loop runs, right? This is the increment part, right? It runs after each loop. It adds I to 1, right? We can represent this like this one. I plus plus equal to I plus 1. Right? Did you understand? Yeah. This prints current value of I, right? It should give 1 to 5 numbers, right? Let's see. You can see 1 to 5 numbers, right? This is the loop flow, right? When to use while? Use while when you don't know in advance how many times the loop will run, right? This is the syntax, right? Okay. In this case, initialization is done outside the loop, right? I want to print numbers 1 to 10. Therefore, our initialization point should be int num is equal to 10. 1, right? Okay, 1 to 10. What is the condition? Num should equal or less than 10, right? Okay. And print, include the print statement I, and after that you should increment this like, oh, it's not I, no, okay, no. Right, now you can run it. You can see 1 to 10 numbers, right? See, 1 to 10 numbers, right? Okay. This is the condition. Condition checked before each iteration, right? Do while executes first, then checks condition. Even if the condition is false, it runs once. Okay. This is the structure of do while loop, right? First, we should initialize a variable like this. This starts loop, right? This runs at least once and update it. Condition. Let's talk about break and continue, right? These two keywords control the flow inside loops, right? Using break, we can stop the loop completely, right? See this. If I equals 1, print 1. If I equals 2, print 2. If I equals 3, break ends the loop, right? You can see it prints 1 and 2 because if I equal to 3, loop should be ended, right? Next one is continue, right? Continue is skip current iteration, right? If I equals 1, print 1. If I equal 2, print 2. If I equal 3, see, skip print, right? It is not print 3. Okay. If I equals 4, print 4. Right? See, you can see it's not printed 3. See? Okay. If you get something from this video, don't forget to subscribe us, share with your friends, like and comment. Right? Bye bye.